In this video, I'll show you how to add a true first-person mode to any third-person character using FocalRig. I will use the game animation sample project as an example to show how FocalRig integrates with custom features like vaulting, sliding, and attacks. First, open Edit, Plugins, and search for FocalRig. Enable it, then restart the engine. Open the skeleton. Right-click the head bone and add a virtual bone with the target head. Name it Camera Attach. GASP uses gameplay cameras, so we'll add a camera rig for first person so we can smoothly switch between third and first person. If you don't want to use a gameplay camera, you can simply replace it with a regular camera under the skeletal mesh and attach it to the new camera bone. The camera style enum lists every camera view. Let's add another one called first person. In the character blueprint, let's find the code that scrolls through the camera styles and add the new enum value there. Increase the clamp range to include it. And add first person to the list of names. There's a lot of camera rigs already in the project. Let's duplicate one and call it camera rig first person. Add a sequence node. Let's put the camera on our camera bone using attach to player pawn. Use VB camera attach, which we made earlier, and make it use the bone's rotation. And let's set the field of view to 90 degrees. Gameplay cameras are controlled by the camera director, which chooses a camera rig from a chooser table. The setup here also adds a crouch offset when the camera style is not 3. Let's change the condition to also remove the offset for camera style 4, which is first person. Now let's open the chooser table, which decides the camera rig based on the camera style and other things. Add a row for first person. Choose our first person camera rig. Set camera style to first person. And set the camera mode to any. Now when you scroll the mouse, it switches between the modes all the way to first person. The camera is now inside the head, but it points the wrong way. That's because we haven't set the camera attach bone to the right spot yet. Let's fix that. Create a control rig and name it CR Biped First Person. Import the bone hierarchy of our skeletal mesh. Under the head bone, add a new bone named POV. Move POV between the eyes and rotate it so that X is forward and Z is up. Add a new control and name it Camera Control. Change the default position to near the face. Set its shape to wedge solid. Change the default rotation to point forward. Get Camera Control's transform and convert it from world space. Pass it into first-person camera control. This node takes a transform for where you want the camera to be and applies camera effects like head bob, so you get complete control over how stable the camera is. And add first-person view. This node changes the animation to make the POV bone match the desired camera transform. It scans your skeleton when you first add it, so you don't have to configure all the bones yourself. Now let's find the VB camera attach bone. And set its transform to where the first-person view says the camera should be. On any other character, this should already be enough, but the sample project character already adds a lot of animated motion for the head, its own crouching, turning of the head, etc. So we take the POV bone and make the desired camera position come from that, while the rotation and scale still come from the control. The first-person camera control node applies smoothing to the position so the camera won't wobble as hard as it does in the animation. Then let's open the animation blueprint. Add a control rig node near the end of the anim graph before the pose history node. Set it to our first-person control rig. Expose camera control as a pin. Add a property access node. Create a function named getFirstPersonCameraControl. Make it have a transform output called returnValue and make it pure and const. Return getPawnViewTransform. Use tryGetPawnOwner for its pawn input. Make camera control use this function via property access. We can now switch smoothly to first person. But the body doesn't turn with the camera, and you see a snap when you turn 180 degrees. Let's fix that. In the character blueprint, find Get Rotation Mode. Make it always return aim. Aim usually prevents sprinting, so open Get Gate. And make aim here have the same handling as strafe. In the ABP, select Offset Root Bone. Set max rotation error to 90, so that the body can never be more than 90 degrees out of sync with the camera. Now the body turns to follow the camera even when you move fast. When you run into a wall, you see the camera come out of the head and clip into it. And when you crouch under a ramp, the camera goes above the ramp. That's because the camera director also adds its own camera collision offset. So let's remove that part. Now the camera stays at the face and FocalRig keeps it out of the wall. It also doesn't clip under a ramp anymore. When you're vaulting over obstacles, the camera keeps looking forward even when the character is supposed to turn in the air. Let's make the animation take control of the camera during vaulting. In the control rig, add a boolean called shouldAnimationControlCamera. Then connect it to the first-person view node by first inverting it and then passing it to the smooth toggle node. In the ABP, expose this new variable as a pin. Make a function called shouldAnimationControlCamera. Give it a boolean output return value and make it pure and const. First, check if we're playing any animation montages such as vaulting. If so, we'll let the animation take control. Then we'll check if we have a pawn. If we don't, return true. If we do have a pawn, but it's not a player pawn, also return true. If we do have a player pawn, let's check that the camera style is first person. If not, then the animation is still in charge. Let's add a property access node and choose the function we just made. Now the camera follows the vaulting animation, but then if you move the mouse around during the vault, then after the vault, the camera snaps to that rotation. We want to make sure that after the vault is complete, you keep looking in the direction the animation ended in. In the ABP, in the event graph on Blueprint Initialize Animation, assign an event to Montage Blending Out. Call Sync Control Rotation to Player View, which sets the control rotation of the controller to match the current view direction. Now camera follows the vaulting animation with a smooth blend out. The animation sample project for Unreal Engine 5.8 added a new map with physics-driven characters that show off synchronized attack animations. If we try playing the new map, we'll see that there's a lot more wobble to the camera that comes from physics. Let's fix that in the ragdoll character. This character gets its physics settings from a physics control asset. Open that asset and go to Profiles, Physical Animation, Modifier Updates. Add an entry at the end named Head. Disable everything except Movement Type and set Movement Type to Kinematic. Now the only wobble we see on the camera comes from our first-person camera control node, and we have complete control over it. The attacks are animation montages just like the vaults, so they take control of the camera like usual. We've now added a fully functional first-person mode to GASP, which preserves all the features originally built for third-person: motion matching, foot placement, vaulting, sliding, and attacks. Project files and a playable demo build are linked below.